We'll call the December 7th Planning Commission meeting to order and stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we are ready to call the roll.
Allen.
Here.
Bibb. Boyd.
Here.
Briggs. Gregg.
Here.
Poole.
Here.
Richard.
Here.
Thomas.
Here.
Townsend.
Here.
There's 7 present. We have a quorum.
Okay, is there a motion to approve the minutes from the October 5th meeting?
So moved. Second.
Okay, moved in a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Everybody's in good voice tonight. The next item is public comment. There's a public hearing now on item 2.1, the
Public
Summit
comment.
View subdivision.
Sorry, excuse me, it's a public comment period
Oh, okay.
for anybody that would like to comment on anything from the agenda. We did not receive any online submissions, but if there's anyone in the room that would like to
Okay. This
comment.
is something new for us that we just voted in last meeting, or the last meeting that we had. And is there, everybody was supposed to sign up that was going to speak. Is there anybody that wants to speak that didn't sign up? On any item, we just have 2 items tonight, and one of them is a rezoning, so. I don't see any hands.
Is the Summit View subdivision, is that the one that's right on Black Patch?
Right, uh-huh.
And is that gonna be condos or homes?
That will be discussed shortly, and there will be a public hearing for that item. So if you would like to have any comment,
And then would that be,
that'll be next.
when that public hearing
Next
is?
thing on the item.
The next thing on the agenda.
Okay, so that wouldn't be too late to say anything. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, we'll keep things straight here. Since I didn't see any hands on the public comment, we will open the floor for a public hearing, correct? Okay. Is there anybody that wants to speak on the Summit View subdivision PUD? Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Um,
You might
To
well
come
come
to
up
the
to the
podium.
microphone. Come to the microphone and state your name.
John Doe. Yes, I'm Jana Jones, representing Richard and Jana Jones at 207 Sam Davis. So this is going to be right behind our house. And they've already got they've already built quite a few homes, Rise has, that's behind the homes. This is the Stonegate subdivision that we're in. They've already built quite a few homes at the beginning of that subdivision. All those people have had to put up fences to have privacy now. But I was concerned about, was this going to be condos? Was this going to be homes? Because it's going to be a lot of people walking through the yard is my concern. It's coming over and how, and the traffic, the traffic of it. So that was my concern. The privacy.
All right, this is not the time where we talk, this is where everybody else talks.
Oh, gotcha. That's all I had to say.
Is there anybody else that wants to speak? Okay, I don't see any more hands. And we'll call the public hearing closed then. All right, under new business, item 3.1, discuss and possibly take action on the Reyes Estate subdivision performance bond on Highway 41 North and Wallace Road. Is there a motion to put this on the floor for discussion?
So moved.
I'll take one of those as a second. Okay.
Thank you. So this is a performance bond request totaling $494,411 for the Reyes Estates subdivision. And this is for completion of the infrastructure improvements at Reyes Estates. This subdivision property was purchased by Mr. Reyes from Clay Jones. So the original subdivision that you all already approved was called Jones Village Estates. So upon approval of this performance bond, that will be renamed with the new name Reyes Estates. And we do have Jason here if you would like to speak on behalf of that bond.
If you got any questions, I'll be glad to come up and address them.
Any questions?
I guess I wasn't clear on what you just, about the renaming.
Yes, so it's currently Jones Village Estates, but because it was purchased by Mr. Reyes, he is renaming that subdivision to Reyes Estates. And so that new site plan, or the new plat, will be renamed and recorded with the new name. But you have already approved it. The only thing that's changing is the name.
And this motion would include the renaming and the performance
And
bond.
performance bond.
Yes.
I move to approve it.
Okay, got a
Second.
motion to approve, and Tony's the second. We are ready to vote if there's no more discussion.
Thomas,
Yes.
Boyd,
Yes.
Poole,
Yes.
Richard,
Yes.
Townsend,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
and Allen.
Yes.
Passes with 7.
All right, item 3.2 under new business, discuss and possibly take action on a rezone with a planned unit development overlay for Summit View subdivision from RS10, RS20 to R7 PUD overlay. Is there a motion to put this on the floor for discussion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I have to abstain from all conversation and voting on this. I own part of that land.
Okay. Appreciate you coming forward.
Thank you. As you can see on the screen, there are two parcels. The top parcel is currently zoned RS10, and that is roughly about 6 acres, followed by the parcel underneath, which is currently zoned RS20, and that consists of about 3 acres. So this rezoning request is to go from RS10, RS20 to the R7 PUD overlay. And that is to create a multi-residential development, and that would include 61 residential units, 36 single-family homes, as well as 25 townhomes. The developers are seeking the maximum allowable density for this property, and that does include the 5% density increase adder for amenities and common space. The developers have included an open common space, as you can show you on the plan. If you look on the bottom left-hand corner, there you can see the playground as well as the pergola and grill area. In addition, the HOA covenants and restrictions are currently being finalized, and those will be submitted soon. Initially, there was concern with traffic on Black Patch for this size of development. However, a traffic study was done, and it concluded that there would not be any issues with this size development.
And you're thinking that William Batson Parkway will be extended, the extension be next June?
The end of June, yes.
End of
June of 2024, the end of June is when we can expect to see that to be finished. And we do have department heads in the room, so if there are any questions regarding, you have questions for them. And then we also have Nettie here, and she can talk to more about the preliminary plan.
I think at the right location, but is it only going to be that one entrance of Black Patch?
There are actually 2 entrances off Black Patch.
Okay.
And said in the traffic study, it wouldn't be any type of congestion there or anything like that?
They didn't find that there would be any
With
issues.
the added number of homes there?
That is what it concluded, yes. And they can probably speak more on the traffic study.
I guess I'm trying to wonder if Ms. John Doe was kind of concerned about the traffic, but there won't be any through traffic to get in her neighborhood, will it?
There is no access behind
And is
this
there-
property.
Is there fencing on the back?
There is not any fencing proposed at this time.
Approximately how much space would it be from that property to the Stonegate property?
There is a landscaping buffer there along the properties. It's
Just not an actual fence.
plan.
Yeah, so this is more for the preliminary master plan. You have to show a concept. Once the master plan is submitted, that will have all of those details.
You said the amenities there is a pergola and a playground?
Yes.
They do have sidewalks that,
Yes. Do you want
Can you go back? I also see, Mr. Reyes, there's another piece of property. I have a question for you. I understand you are in process of maybe trying to purchase that property. Are you under the assumption that you're gonna get the same density based on the current traffic study that is done?
Well, it's that right now, I talked to the owner of that property, and it's nothing that say that definitely gonna sell that property.
Okay.
Because he's talking to his kids, and so if that day come, yeah, definitely, probably take it to, do the same thing.
I mean, I travel that road a lot, and I know that it's gonna add some traffic, but if you add that much more again, it'll be a tremendous amount of traffic.
So it will help if they bought some hardware, that'll make a difference.
Sure.
It will help that traffic.
But
too.
it's still gonna be added
Like I said,
traffic.
so right now, I guess, well, no, because I
Okay.
have an answer for him yet. So.
Okay, thank you.
Which way is the water runoff gonna be headed? Toward Black Patch or toward, do we know that?
Nettie, you can come forward.
Yeah.
So there's a detention pond in the top right corner back
Okay.
there. So we would drain that to the south, and there's a swell going towards the east that we would discharge into the southeast. I'm so sorry. There's a detention pond in the northeast corner, and it would discharge to the south and enter a swell and discharge to the southeast.
So by northeast corner, do you mean at the back of the property on the Stonegate side, or?
Yes, ma'am.
Going to the.
Oh, sorry.
That's, and then.
So this is Sam Davis or Drive right here. So this is the detention pond there.
So the only noise barrier is gonna be bushes. There's not gonna be any.
Well, this is the back of the properties along Sam Davis here, and we have a 25-foot perimeter around the entire development. So you have 25 feet before they could build anything. So it would be landscaped.
How wide's this room?
I don't know.
Ellen? How wide is this room?
how wide is the room?
Well, I'm trying to get a picture of what 25 feet is. That's like what, a fourth of a football field?
Oh, 25 feet. It's about the size of a garage on your house,
Okay.
about 24, 25 feet.
30 feet, this road, this is about 30 feet.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's a two-car garage, though.
Will there be any plans for like any tree line buffer or something?
We do have a buffer on the south side and on the road frontage. We don't have a landscape buffer on the rear or the north at this time.
You were gonna say something about the traffic as well. Were you gonna, about
Do
the
you-
traffic study?
Do you have questions about the traffic
Yeah,
study?
I mean, it just seemed like that if you're gonna, that many houses going in that particular area, and generally, there's two, cars to each house,
Right. So the average daily totals for each residential home is, in your ordinance, you use 10. And then for each individual townhome unit, you use 6. So we did analysis with that, and then they did some traffic counts at the intersection to the south and at the intersection to the north, knowing what the traffic would be going through the development. And they did not see any need for any additional turn lanes or added lane.
It did not show an impact to the level of service of the road current.
We're going from basic wooded, it's woods behind where I live
Right.
to this. So, and you're saying that you're not putting any kind of trees or anything to,
Keep people out, keep them on that side. It's a quiet.
No, we don't
It's a
have
very
that.
quiet neighborhood.
That's something that could be.
That's not in the design at this time. No, not in the
Probably, yeah.
Security.
Do you have any?
Oh, Buzzy was commenting that that might could be something that would be added to,
The master.
the master plan.
Possibly.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
Do what?
Was that a question? I didn't hear you.
That Buzzy had commented that might be something that could be added to the master plan.
Yeah,
there.
so the master plan would come before this body as well, and you would have any say in that.
I mean, one of the things to note on this is it doesn't take away the fact that this is essentially the zoning change on it. It doesn't take away that we've still got to turn in the construction plan to meet the regulation that is in your code now, all the way around the property. But in my opinion, if that is seen that it needs to be increased above even what the standard regulation is, it's probably now is the time to do that, and I think the PUD is what makes it good. It's a good time, you can add those provisions that you guys think are appropriate. And, I don't know, I think a contingency here or something, a stipulation that you guys added that would be appropriate enough to give us the direction that we need. But just to say that something is needed there, outside of the regulation, it will be hard for us to meet it unless you specify that now.
If that had been built out with a present zoning, what's the difference in the density? Yeah, am I saying that
There was
right?
another slide that was up here before, and I don't have every one of those numbers in my head, but a rough way to look at RS10 versus RS7 is 10,000 square feet is your minimum lot size for RS10, whereas RS7, before you go to the PUD, is 7,000. So that's, I don't know, you're going 3,000 smaller off of that is one requirement. The other one that's bigger, that is probably about 2/3 of your property. That's the 6 acres to the north. The 3 acres to the south was going, I think,
R20.
which is a half acre, down to 7. So that's quite a bit of density increase, but it's for a smaller portion of it. So it's not like you're doubling, the density that's there. I haven't run those numbers as an exact comparison, but that's a good way to rough it.
Mr. Chairman, I can kind of round about answer your question.
You need to be up here, David. It's been a
I
while.
ran the numbers on it being RS10 and for both pieces of property combined, and it'd be about 40 lots available. Now, they'd be lots and there wouldn't be multi-residential. So keep in mind that they're asking for an R7 zoning, and then the PUD is an overlay that allows a higher density. And so as we move forward, moving into the final preliminary master plan, you can make sure, you can ask, just like you did with Springfield Village to, to add a buffer, ensure that there is a vegetative buffer along at least the west side, the east side. And they've asked for the maximum density, which is 5% increase because they're doing a mixed use. It's within your preview to determine whether 5% is adequate or if it's too much. And if you think it's too much, you can make the recommendation of what percentage you think they should get, if any. See, that's why y'all are the planning commission.
If
Y'all
it's
plan.
built out at the max, the way it's.
Yes, they've asked for the max.
How many?
61.
61. So you're going from 40 to 61?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Any other questions?
What's the value of each home?
Oh, I heard a
What's the
voice.
value? What's the value of the homes?
Oh, I don't,
Low value, high value, medium value?
we don't really get into the values.
High value,
one
because
at
how many
this-
cars there are.
They did show us some photos, of similar homes. Wouldn't be the exact homes that would be in there.
No, but that's exactly what I was gonna explain is that is in the submittal package. And just to be clear, the homes that we use for that from our client, in the area were the ones that were noted earlier, built right down the street in the other, development off of Black Patch.
So it's gonna be the same type of home?
Yes, that's what is intended to be there, yes, that's exactly
You're
right.
gonna have 4 cars per family now. And how many cars per family did you allow?
Well, it's 2 is the design standard for the parking spaces that must be.
Hey, Jana, we need to bring this back up here.
This is not a public
You're sort of getting
hearing.
into the public hearing part that we should have. But it's hard for you to know what's going on until you see what's proposed, yeah, right.
There will be another opportunity. This will, if approved or recommended this evening, it will go to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen, which will be later this month. And there will be a public hearing the following month. So you will have an opportunity to voice your concerns or.
They're going to approve it, and then it goes to the board? I mean.
This is the
first.
preliminary. So
We
this,
don't
they
actually
recommend
rezone
or
anything.
not
We just
recommend.
make a recommendation to the mayor and alderman.
And then there's 2 meetings that have to take place before it is approved.
Thank you.
Ma'am, there is a plan that's available for you to look at. You can come right here to City Hall tomorrow, and we would love to show it to you and let you see so you get a full and complete understanding about what has been proposed. And if we can't answer your question, we'll put you in touch with Nettie, and Nettie will know all the answers. Isn't that right, Nettie? So we'll get you, we'll get you all the information that we have available.
Thank you.
Okay.
Has anything similar to this density been previously approved in Springfield or in a neighborhood of this type?
Yes. Our 7 PUDs have been approved.
Where?
I don't have it. I don't have that off the top of my head, but I could definitely find out for you.
Okay.
One question.
Tony?
The people in Stonegate, they're not gonna be affected by the traffic at all, are they? I think, it sounds like her biggest concern is just, a buffer to keep them kind of separate.
Taking away of,
Yeah.
in changing the property, that's behind my home, it's,
Yeah.
you know.
Would a buffer take care of that, or?
Well, I would love for some privacy, definitely, because we will lose all of that.
And the traffic, that's mainly gonna be on the Black Patch side of it, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
seems to be.
Okay, one more question. Now, this is the last hand we're gonna see out of the crowd.
Thank you, I appreciate you
Huh?
accepting that. There's the water, my biggest concern was to ask the planning commission to think about, in addition to other items that we raised, is the runoff. There's a dry creek that runs immediately beside my property, which is just immediately behind this, and then not a normal rainfall, but they haven't been over there for
That's something they would calculate in that detention pond. I don't know how big the pond is, but it's supposed to handle the runoff,
Yes,
right?
yes. That'll be handled as part of the construction plans. Those will be, that will be reviewed and take consideration.
And the retention pond will discharge to the south, I think, correct?
That is what Nettie said, yes.
Yeah, so there is a wet weather conveyance that will relocate, but we're not touching, we're actually eliminating the drainage from this property that would originally drain into that wet weather conveyance, and then we're draining the property into the detention pond. And so our pre-development flows have to be detained to match the post-development flows, so we will not discharge more water. It might actually lessen because we're rerouting the wet weather conveyance, so it won't drain into the conveyance.
All right. Any other questions?
Make a motion to approve.
We got a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. We're ready to vote. And this is to recommend to the mayor and alderman a rezoning.
Townsend,
Yeah,
Richard,
Yes.
Poole,
Yes.
Boyd,
Yes.
Thomas,
Yes.
and Allen.
Yes.
Passes with 6.
All right. We don't have any more new business. Under old business, there's no BZA meeting. And I think there are a few comments.
I wanted to just bring your attention to a few items. As you can see on the screen here, this is the invitation for the community meeting for the upcoming development that was that will be proposed for that. It's that 400-acre development on South Main Street. That, as part of the SP zoning district, it is a requirement for them to hold a public meeting to share their plans, answer questions, and get feedback from those contiguous landowners. And so that meeting will take place later this month, December 18th at 5:30 at the library. And then, as you can see on the screen, this is the City of Springfield's and Kiwanis Club's partnership for the first ever skate park in Springfield. They have officially broken ground, and you can expect to see that at Garner Street with the construction completed within 100 days. So just wanted to bring that to your attention. And one last item that I wanted to share, we have a performance surety for Oakland Farms Phase 3, Section 8, that is expiring December 15th. This project has been going on since 2018, and we have you have granted multiple extensions, and they have still not made progress. So we have been in contact with our city attorney, and she is going to execute on that surety so that that project can be completed. All right. Just want to thank you for everything you all do, and have a good evening.
Has anybody got anything else we need to talk about tonight?
Merry Christmas.
Well, that's a good thing. We'll adjourn to have a Merry Christmas.